Come on in. You know, how you handle your pods affects the flavor and the heat of the final application. In this case, a standard tomato salsa featuring 6 Roma tomatoes, 4 cloves of garlic, 1/2 of a red onion, and a red bell pepper, which is actually a chili. There's also a tablespoon of olive oil, the juice of 1 lime, a little chili powder, or chili powder if you like, salt, pepper, and some fresh herbage. Scallions here, but cilantro or parsley will be fine too. Now, since there's no sugar and very little fat here, I've steered clear of the more incendiary pods, settled with 2 jalapenos, okay? Now before you poke around the pod, don protection. Capsicum is sticky stuff, molecularly speaking, and once it's on your tools, your cutting board, or your hands, it can hang around for days, can even resist soap and water. One day, about 2 hours after cutting some chilies, I put in my contact lenses. It sounded something like this. Okay, we cut. Since they're technically berries, all members of the capsicum family, including this red bell pepper, which is really a chili, share a light bulb-like anatomy, with a cluster of seeds replacing the filament. There's no surprise there. Now the seed clusters almost always attach to the side of the fruit with ribs. Now in the case of this red bell pepper, which is actually a chili, these ribs in the inner membrane don't bring anything tasty to the party, just indigestible fibers. So we remove, just like that. That's going to leave you with nothing but the fruit, which you can then fabricate however you choose, dice, mint, julienne, etc. Now if you were to remove these same pieces from a hot chili, like this jalapeno, you would manipulate the heat level quite a bit. That's because capsaicin is produced, well, it's easier to show you on this, here in a set of glands. Yes, berries have glands, and that accumulates in the inner membranes, including the ribs. So, with this knowledge in mind, you definitely have some different heat options here. Start by clipping them and cutting them in half, and then getting rid of the seeds. I like to just use a teaspoon for this, just scoot them out. You don't take them out so much because they're hot, but because they're indigestible and hard and nasty. There. Now, if you were to just chop this up fine, mince it in fact, you would have all of the heat of that inner membrane. And since you would have a greater surface area, there would be more capsaicin for your taste buds to latch onto, right? Now, if you prefer, say, a fruitier approach with less heat, just take this half and press it down flat on your board. And then do the same thing you did to the bell pepper, which is actually a chili. Just shave off that membrane. Don't turn the blade down, just press it down. Now, this is a completely different animal than this. And if you were to chop it into slightly larger pieces, you'd have a salsa with 2 different effects. Heat and fruit here. You want a third option? Okay, you could roast it. No roaster? Oh, believe me, you've got a roaster. There's one of these in every kitchen. Don't think so? Just look around, you'll find it. And if you've got one of these, you have a chili roaster. Just place the pods directly in and set on your burner. Now, summon forth the BTUs. Now, the purpose of this? Burn them. Just turn and toast directly over the flame until they are black all the way around. All right, move this to the sink. Please use tongs, it's awfully hot. We're gonna use the heat that is still in the peppers. Just put a bowl right on top, and in about 5 minutes, the steam is gonna loosen the skin, which is gonna make them much easier to peel. Okay, roaster's ready. There we go. Ooh, nice and soft. Now to get the charred skin off, either rub these between a couple of layers of paper towel or just wash it off, which is what I do. And straight into the salsa. Of course, the really nice thing about roasting is that roasting does create sugar. And sugar, of course, is gonna help to kind of cool off the chemical fire. Speaking of, how many chilies do I have in this? It'll be fine. So what we have here is a single salsa featuring 4 distinct strata or layers of chili heat and flavor. Okay, we've got the high heat of the minced chili that was raw, membrane on. Then we've got the fruitier chopped raw chili that had the membrane removed. Then we've got the roasted chili and the dry chili, which has rehydrated very nicely. Of course, you should feel free to mix and match your pods at will, as well as how you treat them. You're gonna have to experiment. Yeehaw! Maybe I should have counted those chilies a little bit better.